This is again, it is related directly to the failure of the negotiations. You'll have to look at the makeup of the internal makeup, political makeup of the Israelis as well as the Palestinians. And then what you will find that a right-wing Israeli government is not and will not be committed to agreeing to two-state solution. This is just a given. And as long as Netanyahu, over the last nearly 7 years, have been in power, I personally did not expect any such a progress to take place. So, but let us assume you have a new government where it is more left of center, but it will have still to include element of the center. And even such a government will have a very hard time to negotiate and make the kind of concession necessary, because they will still not be able to muster considerable majority in the Israeli parliament. So this is a problem. The political system in Israel itself does not allow the emergence of single party or even two parties to form a single coalition government and be able to make that kind of concession necessary. The other problem is that the public, both Israelis and Palestinians, are not prepared. So you have factionalism within Israel itself. You have factionalism also within the Palestinians. Mahmoud Abbas was unable to make any serious concession because Hamas was breathing over his neck again and again. So what he wanted some significant concession first from Israel. For example, freezing the settlement as a precondition, releasing prisoners as a precondition. That would give him the opportunity to make some concession himself in order to begin to build on the process. That did not happen. And so, put together, you can see why the negotiation collapsed. Well, look, they both have different, of course, perceptions about each other. The Israelis simply do not trust the Palestinians. I don't mean the Israelis, but I should emphasize in particular the Israeli Netanyahu government, or any, you might say, right-wing leaning government, simply does not trust the Palestinians. They don't believe that there is a negotiating partner, so to speak, among the Palestinians. But of course, this serves Netanyahu and his friends' interest. There's no partner, we cannot trust them, and therefore what's the point? There's a national security concern, the Middle East is in turmoil. All of this put together, obviously, from a Netanyahu perspective, justify his position that this is not the right time to make the kind of concession necessary to achieve peace. With the Palestinian, they will tell you, by and large, almost the same. We don't trust the Israelis. The Israelis are bent on maintaining the occupation of the West Bank indefinitely. The evidence to that is the continuation of the expansion of the settlement, even building a new settlement. Israeli public open statement that Jerusalem will remain the eternal capital of the state of Israel. There will be the 67 borders no longer, they are not secured enough, and therefore it will be impossible to return to the 1967 ceasefire line. So what you have here is not just the wrong perception about each other, but there is no effort to reconcile their misperception of one another.